Hi there YouTubers, Airsofters. Just a quick one for you today. I've been and bought a new gun. We are looking today at the Airsoft Tavor TAR-21. Here's the pictures. Oh yes! Admire that loveliness, people. Admire it. Is that not the sexiest gun you've ever seen in your puff? Okay, here we go. This is a copy of the Israeli weapons industry Tavor TAR-21. It's the latest Israeli weapon that's going into use with their army to replace the M4, and it is awesome. As you can see, this is Ares ones are fully licensed. It's as close to the real gun as you will get. It's got Tavor and IWI markings all over the shop. I've got the lovely tan version. I did not go for the standard one which came out first, which has the big Mars sight unit located here, and it has also a slightly shorter barrel and come in black. I didn't go for that because the Mars sighting unit is rubbish. Make a note, folks, that's important. Rubbish. The first lot that came out, they had a lot of wiring problems with them. A lot of the retailers here in the UK were selling them originally for 450 quid when they first came out. And most of them instantly knocked 50 quid off the price after a month or so because they were all getting returned because of problems with the sight unit. They seem to be pretty rubbish. Also, I'm not a fan of red dots and so forth on most guns. Airsoft guns aren't that accurate that a red dot makes all the difference. It just looks good. The Mars sight on these things weighs quite a bit. It makes a big difference to the overall weight. This is a fair bit lighter, noticeably lighter, than the black version with the shorter barrel and the Mars sight. So I didn't bother with that. I can put anything I want on this rail here anyway, and also have additional rails on the front, as you can see. So not a problem for me there. The Mars sight one, you actually have to buy a conversion kit for about 25-30 quid to actually put the rail on. You can't just take the thing off. So there you go. Lovely. Now, this thing, out the box, shooting 340 feet per second. We didn't actually have to chrono it, but we did because these things come with a little tag on them. They're pre-chronoed at the factory and they mark out feet per second and meters per second so that you know exactly what you're getting. Yeah, but we chrono it just the same because this is for legal reasons, just to make sure it's not breaking any limits. So this is shooting a nice and reasonable 340 feet per second. Ideal. The gun itself is about 3 kilos something. It's slightly heavier than an M4, I would say. It's also slightly bulkier than my SA-80, although it's about the same length. Slightly bulkier, wider, but I like that. It's a good feel, very comfortable to hold. And again, as with the SA-80, most of the weight is at the back end anyway. This is where your gearbox, motor, all the gubbins are. So it falls to the back. But it's nicely balanced. When you've got it like this, you couldn't ask for a comfier rifle. Lovely. Big bit at the front here, you can hold it like that, you can hold the grip, whatever turns you on. Again, I'm a fan of bullpups, even though some people hate them. You can't beat that barrel length. Look at that, I mean the barrel starts here, ending here. That's longer than my sniper rifle, folks. In the real gun it makes it very accurate for the size. If this was an M4, you've got to think the barrel would be, what, maybe 10-12 inches long? Whereas for a gun the same size, you get a barrel 2 feet long or more. So, all the better. As I say, in Airsoft it doesn't make a huge difference, but it does make some difference. So there we have it, the Israeli Arms Tavor, the Ares Tavor. Now, obviously I've only just got this thing, so I can't give you any long-term report. We'll do that in a few months' time once I've used it for a bit. I did manage to stick a battery in it. These things take a mini battery with a mini connector. I've got a mini battery with a large connector, so I used some connector adapters, such as this one I made earlier. And I've managed to cram it in. There is enough space for the wires to go in, even though the battery compartment is quite small. It will, at a push, take even your crane batteries, the kinds you use in the M4 stocks. This will fit and will run it. This one, slightly upgraded 9.6 volt battery for the crane stock, won't fit. It's slightly too beefy, slightly too large. So be aware battery size is important. I would try any battery before you buy it. The normal standard mini batteries, yeah, no problem. But anything fancier, be sure and check. Lipo should fit as well. They're usually the same size or very slightly larger than a normal one. A Lipo would give us an outrageous rate of fire. As I say, I've got a 9.6 in this, so we try the rate of fire. Here's a single shot. And full auto. Just turn that off. Now the thing about this, the way this gearbox works, is that actually it's like, in a real gun it would be shooting from an open bolt, if you know what I mean. The spring is held back, ready to go, so it's bang and then back and ready, bang and back and ready. In a normal airsoft gun, it's sitting uncompressed. When you fire, it's got to go back and then forward, before it fires. So it takes longer. This type of gun, it's fire, fire. So you get a much better response than single shot. But I've had reports of some of these having issues firing single shot, but there's a quick fix for that. It's just you have to shave a little bit off the insides of this thing. It's a quick fix according to the technicians, and not a problem. They do that under warranty anyway. But this one doesn't seem to have any issues at all. Love the rate of fire. That's just in the 9.6. If you put something like an 11 volt Lipo in this, it would go like a hairdryer. It'd be crazy. But you'd probably melt the insides as well. So I'm quite happy with the rate of fire as it is. Anything else we can say about it? It looks lovely in the tan, don't you think? This is its spring colours. All the rage. I'll show you the battery compartment. It's held in by this standard pin, which I already partially poked out so we could get into it. And I'll show you this, the innards. Back just slides off because you access straight to the battery, or in this case my lovely bit of wiring. And there's the standard mini battery. And as you can see there, that's the size of your battery compartment, this top bit here. The top hole, this is actually the gearbox and the gubbins. And in between, just down in here, which you probably can't see, they're just there, that screw, a couple of turns on that and you remove that and that takes out the entire spring and spring guide system. You can change the spring on these in a minute or two. It's not like a normal one where you've got to completely dismantle the gun, dismantle the gearbox, and you're there for ages. With this, you can change springs, or check your spring, or whatever, in a matter of a minute or two. Quite impressive. So I'll take this battery off for now. So there you have it. So to change batteries in the field, you're going to need a little tool just to push this pin through, and that'll be you. I'll see if I can get this in. I've never done this before. There we go. Job done. So there we have it. This is my brand new weapon. I'll be skirmishing this. I don't know if I'll be putting sights on it. It comes with standard flip-up sights that the gun with the Mars also has as well. So there you go. As accurate as any airsoft gun, so not really needed. Well, I'm looking forward to using it. Should be great. As usual, pop up this heading behind there, and we release with that. Now, because of the gearbox design, with it being held back and then firing, you must remember once you're finished to actually press this release. Because when you finish firing, the bolt is still held back. Even though this door isn't open, the bolt will still be held back. And you have to release it. That's the only thing I'll have to remember when I'm using it. Comes with this mid-cap magazine. That's pretty much all the gun comes with actually. Is the gun, the magazine and a cleaning rod. Not a lot for your money. Most of the money, I'm afraid, is probably going on the license that they're paying the Israeli weapons industry. But the mid-cap magazine is similar to the SA-80. It's slightly, very slightly larger than a normal mid-cap or that you would buy in the shops. It does make it, however, quite a snug fit. There's not a lot of lateral movement there, nothing really shakes. Which is great, fine, but it does make quick magazine changes a bit of a trial. Now if I use another magazine on this, here's one of the standard mid-caps I use, the markings. They tend to be very good to fit my SA-80, something lovely. Goes in fine and it'll feed fine, it doesn't drop out, but quite a lot of lateral movement there, as you can see. What I may end up doing is just shimming it slightly. Put a little bit of tape just on the inside or something just to stop it moving left to right and giving me away. But that's no major issue. You get that with most guns. You may have to play around just to get your. I've got like 5 different types of these magazines. I've got about 20 magazines that I use in several guns. So I know some work with some guns, some don't. So maybe a slight adjustment needed there, but nothing major. Certainly nothing to put you off. So there you go, my new gun. As I say, in a couple of months' time, I'll give you a report, tell you how it's going, anything that's broken, anything that needs fixed, and we'll tell you just how it shoots. But right now, I'm loving it. I can't wait to get out with this next week. Bye for now. Back to the studio.